From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time now for Campo's Corner here on The Horse's Mouth. At Tommy Max, of course, at my bar. Brought to you by our good friends at YOLO Rum. You only live once. It's kind of like, what have you done for me lately when you're playing in the National Football League? Let's get into it with Coach Dave Campo here at the bar. Hey, Coach.
Hello, Tom.
Good to see you again, my friend. You're looking good.
Oh, thank you.
You look good in red.
Well,
That's the first time I've seen you in red.
Yeah, I don't wear this very often. Today I just felt like, kind of standing out. When you're 5'6", 175 pounds, you don't really stand out that much, right?
You gotta find a way.
There you go.
There you go. Your resume stands out. We'll take it. Take that. All right, big news in Jacksonville. The stadium deal is done. Fantastic. Look, I'm not an economist. I can't break it down, but all I know is this. It is a generational investment, and our Jaguars are staying here in Jacksonville for at least the next 35 years.
Absolutely. It's a huge thing for the city and for, obviously, the Jaguars. And I think they've been working on this thing, from what I understand, since 2015, 16. It just doesn't get done overnight.
Right.
And let me tell you, it also solidifies the fact that Shad Khan is the right guy.
That's right.
For Jacksonville and for what's going forward with the Jaguars. So I have a lot of confidence that thing's going to be beautiful, and I think it's going to set us up for a long time. I don't know if I'll be still around for very long, Coach. But I might see some of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Shad Khan, that whole side, Mayor Deegan, Ron Salem, people from they found a way. At the end of the day, we're one of 32 NFL cities, and we're going to remain that way for a long time.
Yeah, and there's no question the NFL will, solidify it in October. There's no doubt about it. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the city.
Yeah. Except for the fans in the city.
Yeah, that's really what I'm saying. But also the infrastructure around the stadium. It looks like it's going to be really nice, and that's a big thing in itself.
Big plus, no doubt about it. All right, so what an off season it's been. You signed Josh Allen to an extension. You signed Trevor Lawrence to a big extension. You get the stadium deal done. No excuses, Coach. I'm sorry, man. You better win. Time's to win now. You and I both know the window's open. Window don't stay open that long unless you take care of that window, and now's the time for them to strike. And with all this going on, all this positive momentum, one thing we got to keep straight, it didn't make them better all of a sudden, but they do have to go out there and win more games than they don't.
Well, I think Shad Khan kind of intimated that when he made the comment. He said this last 6 games was an organizational
downfall.
Downfall. It just wasn't. That's not our standard.
Right.
So I think it kind of puts people on notice, and I don't know what the contract situation is going forward with the head coach and the rest of the people.
Right.
But I do know that when the owner steps out and says that, it's with all of the positiveness that's going on and everybody's happy and this and that, it still comes down to how we play this coming season.
Without a doubt.
I really have good feelings about this team with the quarterback, with the head coach. Now it has to come to fruition.
And take national rankings with a grain of salt, seriously. But you see them come in like 19th, 20th, right around there. They got a lot to prove this year.
Absolutely.
As opposed to last year, they were ranked a lot higher than that.
Yeah, well, there's no question about that. I think that the negativeness around the Jaguars for the last 30 years, really 20-something, because you guys back in the 90s.
Yeah, a couple sprinkles in here.
And then when I was here with Jack Del Rio, we had some good teams.
You did.
But the overall negativeness goes out to the national people.
Yep.
And until it's proven 2, 3, 4 years in a row, we're going to get the same stuff around here as far as the national media.
No doubt. You got to win.
You got to win. You got to do well. You got to put consistency in there, and that's what I'm hopeful is going to happen.
You only win when you win, if you know what I mean, right? Then
well, this would have been
good.
Listen, 2 9-8 seasons would have been good if we didn't have the last 6 games in there. That's what kind of backed it up a little bit.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting ready for training camp. I'm going to see you out there. I always look forward to that. What are you looking for in this training camp under Doug Peterson for the Jags? What are you looking for?
Pads, shoulder pads.
Physical.
I want to see what we're going to do to help the physicality of this football team. They've done it in some ways with what they've done in free agency and bringing in some big guy draft picks. let's see where it goes from there, because I think we have to, everybody, I don't know that everybody realizes, we've said this many times. You win up front. If we run the ball like we did this year, it's not going to work.
No, right.
We have to run the football and stop the run in order for us to go forward, regardless of what. And obviously, Trevor has to get the turnovers out of the picture. But that's the number one thing I'm looking for.
I believe you earn your toughness during training camp if training camp's a tough camp.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Well,
To a certain degree?
I used to agree to it. Now the way training camp is, it's not. It doesn't have the same.
Well, you're saying put on pads, which is a difference in what they're used to.
Absolutely.
They don't do a lot of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no question that when you hit, you either learn or you don't learn, one or the other. You either get the crap kicked out of you or you do well.
Here's just a very minor example, if I may. Last year, we stood by the wide receivers warming up every year, and they do a drill where the coach throws a hand out and they work on their hand like it's press.
Right.
The difference would be you take another wide receiver, put him up on line of scrimmage, having pads, at least shells and helmets, and let's see him get off the line. Let's see him really work against somebody. That makes it more physical. It doesn't always have to be full speed tackle, to the ground, drive into the ground. But there should be some popping. There should be some hands smacking each other up front, O-line, D-line, right? You don't want to knock someone on
one-on-ones,
but you better get after it,
You got to do it. And some of it is the mentality of the coaching staff.
I agree.
This has to be going forward, this has to be a vendetta. That we're going to show people that when you play the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're in for a ball game.
That's right.
Now, do they win them all? You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to win them all. You just got to win enough to get to the playoffs and give yourself a chance to go forward.
Listen, my father, God rest his soul, told me this in grammar school. If you out-hit him, you have a chance every single game. And that was true all the way through the NFL.
No question about it. And that's what I'm looking for in training camp. I'm sure you are as well.
Me too. I may show up after the individual drills are over, just for the record.
Yeah, well, all I know is one thing. I know one thing. You're half empty sometimes. I'm half full sometimes, that glass,
mixes together.
We're going to mix that together because that's what I'm looking for, and I know that's what you're looking for, and I'm looking forward to this camp.
Cool. Coach, always a great
time,
my man.
Absolutely.
You're the man. All right, Coach's Corner, Campo's Corner, every single week here on The Horse's Mouth. Always a great time. Make sure you check out this interview and so many others at the dailynewsnetwork.com website. Till next time, stay safe and be cool out there, and let's go Jags. We'll see you next time.
Go Jags.
Even though we do have two different liquors, it's still one name. It's YOLO Rum, and at the end of the day, it's how you feel. And YOLO Rum, you only live once, and that's more prevalent. That's becoming more prevalent as far as the attitude and the mindset with how people live their lives. And it's not about how it used to be as far as people doing dumb stuff out here. It's more of they're understanding the value of their life. And if we can bring that presence of the meaning behind life and what it means to fulfill whatever you need to fulfill in your life that makes you feel enjoyable about what you're doing, that's what YOLO will bring out as well.